Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday night brand night. I'm Sherry Danzig, and it's always my pleasure to welcome you all, whether you're here live or you're listening to this as a recording. We are here to share stories, personal experiences, or someone near and dear to us that has had an experience with Nikken's wellness technologies that is all about bringing nature into our everyday lives. And Nikken does this so brilliantly in so many different ways. Tonight, the focus is talking about our shower system. We have two different shower systems. It doesn't really matter so much which one it is. Some people prefer the wall unit, some people really prefer it handheld. We've got both. And Nikken, just like they do with everything, they're restoring the water to mimic nature. And nature has the best of everything. It certainly has the best water. So we're going to start with a group of stories. And so, Bayla, you've got a story about using the shower system. Please share.
Yes. I started using the shower system almost a year ago. And what I noticed was a remarkable improvement in some of my issues. One of them being that from getting the third COVID vaccine, I developed a rash-like issue connected with joint issues. And the rashes were all over my face, and I used to feel very embarrassed. And nothing seemed to help. Even some of the medications that I was prescribed, and I didn't really want to take them because the side effects were horrendous.
Mhm.
So, anyhow, I got the shower system, not really expecting anything, just thought I would make myself feel better. But what I noticed within a few days, the redness in my face seemed to disappear, and the scales seemed to disappear, get less initially.
Mhm, mhm.
And the other thing that I noticed, which I didn't know why, but I was told by another Nikken consultant, that my breathing was much better. And one of the conditions I have affects the lungs.
Mhm.
And so what I was told was actually today, earlier today, was that chlorine vapors, when you breathe them in, they do affect your breathing.
Mhm.
So this is remarkable for me because I haven't had those issues and I don't wake up with a lot of crap in my throat. And as you can tell, the redness is pretty much gone, and the occasional exacerbation happens with stress or whatever. But I'm really pleased with the effects that I have derived from the shower system, and I highly recommend it to anybody.
Thanks, Bayla. It's awesome. Lynn, you've got a story.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sherry. It's my little grandson who was an infant and was having a lot of challenge of itchy skin. It's a condition, it's a common thing that infants can have. It was so bad for him that he literally scratched a white part in his eye area.
Mhm.
So I come over one day and I said to my daughter and son-in-law, well, what's going on? And they called it a name and it's normal. And I said, you're not giving him a bath with the Nikken shower system? Well, what they said, no, we're doing it in our on our at our ensuite because it's easier for us. Although they have the shower, Nikken shower in the other bathroom. I just got really annoyed and I said, you guys don't go and give him a bath without water. I'm coming over tomorrow night and giving this child a bath because you could tell he was uncomfortable. He had redness on his face, on his little arms, and he was really uncomfortable. He was a couple of weeks old. Well, they saw how serious I was. Of course, they went and they weren't lazy, gave him a bath with a Nikken shower filter. I could comfortably say that he was clear within 2, 3 days, and that child never had that issue anymore. And I didn't have to convince them after that, but boy, was I annoyed with that attitude of theirs. But the shower filter made that child really, really comfortable. And they today do not have any other showers, and they're 4 and 6 other than the Nikken filters.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, that's important. Paula, you've got a story.
Well, I read an article actually today about how when you get older, your skin gets thinner and it gets more fragile and it gets drier. And I seem to never have that problem. I'm 75, and when I take a shower, I not only have the wall mount, but I also have the handheld because I've got one of those fancy units that's got the rain head on the top and then that handheld on there. And I always use a filter to shower with because you never know what you're preventing. And I've got very, very clear and soft skin, and I don't even use moisturizer. And people are amazed at the quality of my skin. Even the massage therapist says, "Wow, for your age, you've got really great skin." And I says, "Well, I don't pollute it, so."
Good for you. Thanks. Thanks, Paula. Barbara, you've got a story. Please share.
I do. My story's a little different. I rescued a dog on Mother's Day in 2017. And when you rescue a dog from a shelter, you have to take it to a vet within 7 days for an assessment. The vet said very, very little to me. The dog he looked terrible. He had an eye infection, ear infection, and skin infection. He hardly had any hair on his entire body. So I was instructed to give him a bath every 3 days, a medicated bath every 3 days, and drops in the eyes and the ears daily. We had to go back to the vet a few weeks later. But what happened in the meantime? After just a couple of weeks, the dog was hopping into the tub on his own. I didn't have to catch him and put him in the tub. He would
Wow.
hop in. I have a handheld shower unit. I could bathe him with ease. He could get water in his eyes and he wasn't shaking his head and it wasn't stinging his eyes because the filter was removing the irritants.
Hmm.
At the 6 week mark, we went back to the vet for a follow-up and the vet came out and he said, "Oh my goodness, you must be a good doggy mommy." Did you notice I didn't have much to say when I honestly didn't think the dog was going to survive? He not only has survived, he's thriving.
Mm,
Um, he has grown hair on most of his body. He still has a couple of bare spots where it hasn't come back, but beautiful, silky blonde hair and eyes cleared up. He has a chronic challenge with the ear, but even if he gets the water from the shower in the ear, it's not irritating.
yeah.
So it doesn't work just for humans, it works for animals
Mhm.
too.
Absolutely.
And when they hop in on their own, you know that there's something good about it.
That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that, Barbara. The deal is, and most people know this, that our water, our municipal water has to be chlorinated. And I like to call it a necessary evil because I know where I live in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, the water is recycled many times over. There's God knows what's in the tap water. So with could be bacteria and different toxins and so forth. And so chlorine has to be put in the water because people would die of all sorts of bacterial, stomach issues and so forth. So it has to be there. And we also, I think probably most people know that our skin is our largest organ. And you put something on the skin topically and it's in your system within seconds. I don't know what the time is, but it's very, very fast, right? So it just goes to, you've got something that is a known toxin that if you look at chlorine, it's got crossbars on it. So it is considered a poison. You don't want to swallow it, and yet it's in the water. And then it's being absorbed so quickly on your skin, your largest organ. So it is a perfect storm of creating an irritant for the body, however that shows up. So it's so important to have a filter, um, and to have a good one. And most of what you can buy in the stores do, an okay job, better than nothing. But Nikken is never about better than nothing. I want to share one last story that I've been working with a chiropractor who has been a customer or a consultant. He's been both for more than a decade. And he renovated his condo years ago and he had the shower system. And he said, you know what? I don't like the looks of it. This was before we have our new now, the polished chrome look, which is modern. I'll have to tell him about it. But he was making a decision, as many people have. They're going to choose aesthetics over health. And so he didn't like the look of it. He was getting this brand new fancy shower. And so that was it. He was going to stop using the shower system. And I was disappointed, but I'm not in the convincing business. Anyhow, within a week, I think it was less than a week, he called me and he said, I got to get a filter again. He said, I can't take this. He noticed the difference. And I think that's what happens is that we get so used to being in a clean environment when you're using a really good filter, as Nikken's shower filter is. He could tell the difference. And I think that's a good problem to have, that you become much more discerning about chlorine. Your sensitivity, you can't tolerate it anymore. That's a good thing. It's problematic when you're showering someplace else without a filter. But for him and I've had numerous customers since then who've said, I don't care what it looks like. Same thing happened with me. I changed, we did a whole renovation upstairs, well, all the bathrooms in our house. And, you pick the fancy handle hardware and it comes with that rain shower. It looks nice, but, they're all in the closet for whenever we move that we'll install those and take our Nikken shower filters with us. So it does create a problem because you become very sensitive to really good water. And it is truly, I heard the statistic that if you don't work with chemicals during the day, the most toxic 10 minutes of your day is probably taking a shower if you don't have a filter on it. So I hope this will inspire people to really look into our Nikken shower filter because what Nikken does is always top shelf.